Chapter 40. Perseverance and Progress. The great poet and preacher John Donne, 1571 to 1630 or 31, in a famous sermon spoke of the difficulty of persevering in prayer, even in a fairly short prayer. He found that his mind wandered easily, and in his most earnest praying, trifling thoughts crept in. He observed sorrowfully, quote, "I neglect God and his angels for the noise of a fly, for the rattling of a coach, for the whining of a door. I talk on in the same posture of praying, eyes lifted up, knees bowed down, as though I prayed to God. And if God or his angels should ask me when I thought last of God in that prayer, I cannot tell. Sometimes I find that I forgot what I was about, but when I began to forget it, I cannot tell. A memory of yesterday's pleasures, a fear of tomorrow's dangers, a straw under my knee, a noise in my ear, a light in mine eye, and anything, a nothing, a fancy, a chimera in my brain troubles me in my prayer. So certainly is there nothing in spiritual things perfect in this world." End quote. Man's mind, as well as his feet and devotion, wander easily, and we are readily given to changing our minds. Our attention wanders always, and we are better at drifting than commanding in our lives. Yet Scripture makes repeatedly an amazing statement about us, namely, that we shall persevere in our faith. When we are in the state of grace, we persevere therein to our life's end. This, however, is not our doing. We are kept by the power of God through faith unto salvation. 1 Peter 1:5. Moreover, we can be confident of this very thing, that he which hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. Philippians 1:6. This is a fact of inestimable importance. Men apart from Christ tend to be as firm as sand and as solid as water. They cannot be depended on. To trust in man is to risk disaster. More than one great man and movement have failed because the people lost interest, changed their minds, changed sides, or drifted away. Into the inconstancy and drifting changes of this world, God introduces a steady and purposeful element, his people. The people of God are not immune, as Donne saw so clearly, to a drifting mind, but as he saw with intensity in his many sonnets and sermons, they are always recalled to their ordained path and duty, and they persevere therein by the grace of God. Pagan philosophers, observing man's drifting ways, spoke of history as being cyclical. All things for them were and are meaningless. Progress is impossible, and only drift and change are apparent to history. The Bible, however, tells us that God's sovereign grace commands and directs man in his appointed and ordained way. Man cannot get off the track permanently when he is truly a member of Christ. He has an inevitable and commanding direction which brings purpose and meaning to his life and to the world. He moves in a world of total meaning in which God makes all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. Without this perseverance, neither life nor history would have direction or meaning. With it, they fulfill God's glorious purpose.